This pregnancy broke all records, which even doctors did not believe.
Before we begin, make sure to smash that like button, subscribe to our channel, and click the notification bell for more amazing videos.
At first, it seemed to be a normal ultrasound examination. But suddenly the doctor noticed something very worrying. He didn't want to believe the picture on the monitor. The pregnancy of the Perkins took a very dramatic turn. But what did the doctor see? For years, the couple Lauren and David Perkins had been trying to have a child. Unfortunately, without luck, after several failed attempts, they took a different path. They opted for artificial insemination, and Laura eventually became pregnant. Suddenly, the day of the first ultrasound was here, and the expected parents could hardly wait to see the heartbeat of their child for the first time. It was love at first sight. When David first saw Lauren, he knew they were getting married. Their first date was a Baylor University football match in 2003. Even then, both were very much in love and became inseparable. Over time, their relationship resembled a fairy tale. They were best friends, gave each other support in difficult times, and worried about each other's happiness. Finally, they married in 2007 and adopted a dog a few years later. In 2010, they called her Maggie. Happiness seemed perfect, but Lauren and David longed for a child. They wanted a family to which they could give their full love and grow from it. However, since both were very adventurous and wanted to see the world at the same time, they decided to wait with family planning for the time being, as they were sure they'd plan for the future. A few years later, Lauren and David were finally ready to start a family. They thought they had covered everything perfectly. "My dream was always 2 children, preferably a boy and a girl. They should be about 2 to 3 years apart," Lauren told Today magazine. Nevertheless, not everything went as planned. Similar to many families, "I think God looked at us and said, 'You have no idea what's coming,'" Lauren later said. During these early days, the couple couldn't wait to finally have a baby and initially tried it. Naturally. However, they had no idea what to expect. The Perkins waited in vain for a positive pregnancy test when they wanted a baby all over the world. However, they had no luck. Eventually, they came to the conclusion that something could be wrong. Although both knew that stress could only be a hindrance in the situation, there was nothing they could do about the excitement and nervousness that was slowly spreading. Within day and night, they racked their brains over their problem. Time passed, and it was soon months in which they could not have a child. They tried everything to finally get pregnant. The couple paid attention to a healthier diet, took vitamins and supplements, with devastating results since even after months, no pregnancy was recorded. They'd finally discussed whether they should tell their families. Since both Lauren and David themselves did not know exactly what was going on, they decided not to initiate their family. For the time being, this would only mean extra pressure and make it difficult to have a baby. Even if they didn't want to make their problems public, their secret ate them up internally. Further unsuccessful attempts followed. In the end, they could not and did not want to keep it a secret anymore. They had to tell their family, if only to find comfort in them. Before that, however, they wanted to have exhausted every possibility and therefore waited so long. For a total of 18 months, the couple tried to have a child, but the success failed to materialize. Lauren and David felt more disappointed than ever. The disappointment and frustration now began to affect their relationship, and they burdened not only themselves, but also family and friends. Starting a family of their own now seemed impossible, and they wondered if they would ever hear their own children's laughter. What would life be like without children? The couple was now incredibly desperate and knew neither in nor out, and so they decided to seek help from a specialist. After countless attempts, the use of home remedies, and a change in diet, nothing happened after more than a year. So Lauren and David Perkins decided to visit a specialist in artificial insemination. After long and extensive research, they finally found the specialist they trusted and made an appointment. When they then introduced themselves to the specialist, he carried out a variety of tests and informed them about possible subsequent treatments. However, all of this was very overwhelming for Lauren and David, and the high cost of such a procedure shook them. Therefore, they wanted to think about this problem alone and in peace, and then make a decision. However, they finally initiated friends and family into their secret and hope for support. After months of futile attempts to get pregnant and consulting a doctor, they simply couldn't keep their infertility a secret. After a long wait, the Perkins told their family about their complicated situation. Due to the intimate nature of the problem, they could understand it and did not resent the couple. They began to consult on which treatment would be best. They wanted to take a little more time and thoroughly research the problem before moving on to any medical treatments and surgeries. It's not surprising that both her loving parents support her in this difficult situation. David's wife was suffering from depression, and he tried to help her by making her a delicious meal when he came home. When she was still sad, he talked to her for hours and made her feel better. This is the cornerstone of any functioning marriage, although it was not always easy at first. After struggling with infertility for a year, Lauren and David Perkins decided to join a mission trip in Nicaragua. A local priestess told them that God had big things planned for them. The couple decided to try again and disregard adoption for the time being. They would now also consider medical treatment or surgery if necessary. David and Laura Perkins were trying to get pregnant naturally and via IUI treatment. When the doctor placed the needle in Lauren's hip, David almost fainted. Only when the doctor had finished the treatment did David breathe normally again. The chance that the IUI would work was just 25%, so they returned to the fertility clinic. After a few weeks, Lauren took a pregnancy test and found out she was pregnant. Lauren's hormone levels were unusually high, which could indicate an error during pregnancy. It could also be a mole pregnancy in which a non-cancerous tumor spreads in the uterus. This was the case with Lauren. After subsequent examinations, they immediately arranged an ultrasound appointment. After trying in vain for so long to finally have a child, Laura Perkins' dream had come true. It was a huge surprise for the couple, who never thought they'd be able to have more than one child at once. The couple tried to imagine what it would mean to raise 6 children at a time, but it seemed unimaginable. Despite all the concern, they couldn't help but look forward to the 6 pieces. The Perkins got scared like most expected parents when the doctor told them they were expecting their first set of triplets. Due to lack of space in the womb, the nutrient and blood supply for all babies cannot be guaranteed. They were presented with the possibility of aborting some fetuses in order to give the others a better chance of survival. However, this would not be something the couple would ever consider. Despite all the risks, Lauren and David decided to keep the babies. The weight of her abdomen increasingly caused Lauren back, leg, and foot pain. Running long distances became more and more of a torment for her. Lauren and David Perkins were preparing for the birth of their 6 babies when they suddenly went into labor. It was a cesarean section and the delivery went smoothly. They had 3 boys and 3 girls. After a single pregnancy of 30 weeks, they weighed between 737 and 1332 grams. Despite the special circumstances, the birth went smoothly, Lauren reported. Lauren and David were able to hold their sextuplets for the first time 4 days after they were born. The baby girl, Leah, had to stay in the hospital for a few days because she had been at the bottom of the womb. After 4 months, the siblings were finally able to go home. After 5 months, the whole family was united. Even though Lee had to fight harder than her other siblings, she remained tough and persevered. The operation went well, and soon Leah was on her way home. The Perkins were overwhelmed by the support they received. Many also helped with the house preparations for the additional care of baby Leah. The first Christmas for the Perkins, pack of 6 tablets was spent with their parents, Lauren, and David. The 6 siblings were healthy, and all 6 siblings seemed to have a unique bond. Lauren decided to publish her experience as a mother of 6lings by opening a blog called Perkins Sixpack. In it, she describes the special everyday life as a mom of 6 children. Kenny and Bobby McCauley welcomed 7 sweet babies into their family on November 19, 1997. Today, the 6 pieces are 7 years old, and the Perkins pack is happier than ever. The names of these angels are Nathan, Brandon, Natalie, Alexis, Kelsey, Joel, and Kenny Jr. The Vicari family has been shaped in history by the birth of 7 babies, and they made it into the headlines for various newspapers. Thanks for watching. Make sure you subscribe and smash that like button. We really appreciate your continuous support.